The day of Arafat. The obligations of Arafat are two. The lighter of them is that one must spend the day there in ihram. However, the rukn of Arafat, the fard part, is that a person must spend at least one moment there right after the sun sets in ihram. So be careful not to leave until after the sun has set. As for three sunnahs attached to Arafat, one should, if possible, take the sunnah bath that a person takes by simply running water over the body if it's possible. And I know it's not going to be possible for everybody, but it can be simple as taking a small bottle and going into a stall where a person is outside of the view of other people and just pouring the water over their top and washing the sweat from themselves in that place. Right after the sun passes over its zenith at high noon, two khutbahs are given by the Imam of Hajj at the Masjid of Namira, the Masjid of Arafat. It's a huge masjid which is only open for one congregation in the year, which is on the day of Arafat, on the 9th of Dhul Hijjah. Attending that prayer and that khutbah is recommended in the books of fiqh, but it is highly impractical for people, especially those who are not familiar with the plain of Arafah, in which a person can get lost very easily because all of it looks the same. And especially the person who doesn't know Arabic is even more at peril. So I don't recommend people go there until or unless they have some sort of special preparation and have talked to their group leaders about it. Thereafter, the adhan and iqamah for dhuhr are made, and the pilgrims will pray dhuhr, whether or not they were able to join the main congregation in Namira. Immediately after dhuhr, the adhan and iqamah for asr are made, and pilgrims then pray in their congregations as well. Both dhuhr and asr, each with its own separate adhan and iqamah in the time of dhuhr, in the beginning time of dhuhr. From then on, it is a sunnah to stay in the state of dua until the sun sets. The rest of the Arafat is reserved for what? Like for tawaf and like for sa'i, the standing in Arafat is reserved for dua. The state of dua to Allah is to be continuous. For men, it is superior to stand rather than to sit, and it is superior to be under the sun rather than under the shade, although if this becomes too much or difficult, the sacred sharia allows for ease. For women, it is superior for them to be shaded and for them to be relaxed while making dua for the entire day. This is your chance to plead your case and that of your loved ones and the entire ummah in front of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Arafat, as was mentioned, is the closest thing to what the Day of Judgment will be like in this world. This is where you can make your pre-trial motion to dismiss the case against you. This is where you enter your plea for clemency with the Lord. This is where you make your plea bargain so as to not get slammed with the full sentence on the Day of Judgment, with the sentence that none of us will be able to endure if it's put on us. Prepare for that Arafat by putting away your phones and opening your Quran and making fervent dua, dhikr, and salat and salam on the Prophet ﷺ and prayer from before that time and dua during that time. Get your mind in the zone so you can hit the ground running. Don't eat a bunch of rice and sweets so that you get sleepy and have a diabetic crash right before it's time to plead your case. Eat very little and hydrate yourself. Eat enough to be able to stand and not pass out. Hydrate yourself enough to not pass out, but not so much that you have to use the bathroom again and again. There will be plenty of food in your hotel buffet after Hajj is over. None of us are going to starve to death. Now is the time to turn away from the physical so that the secret between Allah Ta'ala hidden inside of your ruh can grow and be purified and find its spring pasture in the holy grace of the Lord. May Allah Ta'ala accept from us all.